If we do for some reason get kicked off because of technology issues, you will get you will have to check your email and check for another meeting code. Okay. Okay. We're on the record in cause number 323-113-710-20. Matter of Blake Aaron Scott. It is, this is the 323rd District Court. It is May 20th, 2020. 9:46 a.m. This was the date and time set for his adjudication and disposition matter. Just as a reminder, because the courts are currently closed to the public due to the coronavirus pandemic, this hearing is being live streamed via YouTube in order to comply with the Open Courts Act, Article 1, Section 13 of the Texas Constitution. No part of this hearing or live stream may be copied or reproduced or recorded in any way, and a violation of that policy, actually that the law may result in a finding of contempt by this court. Okay, appears to me that, Ms. Bell, does he also need a detention hearing? Oh, hold on, you are muted.
Your Honor,
yes.
He will be set for a detention hearing, but if we do the adjudication dispo, he will be released on probation.
Okay, and so there's no need for that. So, okay, and that's what Mr. Daniel said. I'm just confirming, and just for the record, Ms. Bell is here on behalf of the state. Raymond Daniel is here on behalf of the child, who is also present on the Zoom screen from the detention facility, and his probation officer, Ms. Blair, is present as well as his mother. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Now, Mr. Scott, could you please, let me see, we've got in the file a petition regarding a child engaged in delinquent conduct, which was filed on May 7th of 2020. And then in the file also, there is a return of service on the juvenile summons, which was filed with the court on May 11th, 2020, and it was served on the 11th day of May, 2020, indicating that the juvenile was served with a copy of the petition. Mr. Scott, can you please raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth and nothing but the truth in this proceeding today, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, please put your hand down. Okay, and so I'm going to need you, when you speak with me, I'm going to need you to sit up straight so that I can hear you, okay? All right, now the law requires that I ask you this next question. Where were you born?
Arlington.
Arlington, Texas?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and so you are a United States citizen, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and what is your date of birth?
September 19, 2003.
I need you to speak clearly, sir.
September 19, 2003.
September 19th, 2003. Okay. Okay, this is on the petition, it is alleged that you, Blake Aaron Scott, a male who is 16 years of age, date of birth 9/9/2003, who is a resident of Tarrant County, Texas, have been delinquent. On the date of the alleged offenses, it says that you were over 10 years of age and under 17 years of age. The state alleges the following facts, which appear to bring you within the provisions of Title III of the Texas Family Code. Indicates in paragraph 1 that you have engaged in delinquent conduct because you have violated a law in Texas punishable by imprisonment or by confinement in jail. Specifically, section 30.04 of the Texas Penal Code on or about the 5th day of May, 2020, in the County of Tarrant, State of Texas, that you did intentionally and without effect consent of Lamika Jackson, the owner thereof, break into or enter a vehicle, namely an automobile or a part thereof with intent to commit a theft. Your petitioner, which is the state of Texas, further alleges in the name and residence of the parent or guardian of your child is Cherry Scott, 2220 Knox Drive, apartment 193 in Arlington. And that, again, I have typically been reminding people to turn off their cell phones as if we are in court. And so that's been happening.
Yeah, and Judge, I'm sorry. I apologize. I seem to be having some problem with it. I've turned it off now.
That's okay, or just silence it. I've found that sometimes on these Zoom hearings, it feels more casual just because, you know, we're in our offices or home or wherever. And so sometimes those things happen. I found that if I remind people that it kind of circles us back, but okay. And so the name of the residence of the person or person having custody and control of Mr. Scott is Cherry Scott at the address stated previously. I'm looking, I have the Ms. Bell, I think okay, no, I was looking at the stipulation of evidence and you did leave me the correct one. Thank you. Sorry about that.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thought you accidentally took the one that was only signed by one of you. Okay. Mr. Scott, it appears to me that there has been a stipulation of evidence and that you have agreed to a certain disposition with the state. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And so do you understand that, first of all, you have a right to remain silent, okay? In other words, you don't have to speak, you don't have to testify today or say anything that will make you incriminate yourself, okay? That is your choice. You have a right to a trial and to confront witnesses who may testify against you. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. You have a right to an attorney, and your attorney, Mr. Daniels, is here. You see him on the Zoom screen?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you have a right to an attorney to represent you at your trial if you chose to have a trial. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
You have a right to a trial also by a jury. And do you understand that do you know what a jury trial is?
Yes, Your Honor.
It's where, you know, they bring in jury panel from the public, and then out of that panel, both the state and Mr. Daniels would select a jury to decide your case. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and do you understand that you are giving up all of those rights by entering into this agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and do you understand the nature of the consequences of this agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and you understand, your attorney has explained the stipulation of evidence, the judicial confession and disposition agreement to you?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you are also waiving your hearing in front of the district judge, Judge Alex Kim, and having it in front of me instead. Is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. You understand that after I go through this adjudication hearing, the court may decide that not to accept the agreement. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and if I do decide that, I will let you know before you go ahead and enter into it, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. All right, Mom, could you please raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth and nothing but the truth in this cause of action today, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Could you please state your name?
Cherie M. Scott.
Okay, and are you the mother of the child?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, Mr. Daniels, is there any reason that your client won't understand these proceedings today?
No, Your Honor. I've gone through them with him. He understood. I think he would understand from you as well.
Okay, and he understand, and you're saying that he is fit to proceed today?
Yes, Your Honor. He is fit to proceed.
Okay. Does the state waive opening?
I think she's muted.
Your Honor, we do.
Yeah, yes, and Mr. Daniels?
Yes, we waive opening.
Okay, and do I have? Are there any exhibits?
Nothing from the state, Your Honor.
Nothing
Okay.
nothing from us.
Oh, okay, thank you. And so I do have a stipulation of evidence, judicial confession, and disposition agreement. It has been signed by Mr. Daniel and Ms. Bell. It has not been signed by the child, but I will read it to you, Mr. Scott, to be sure that you understand what you are entering into, okay? And then you can affirm to me that this is your agreement, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Daniels, you have explained this to the child, you said, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and so Mr. Scott, it says that it's directed towards the court. It indicates that may it be agreed and stipulated between the parties in the above styled and numbered cause in which you, Blake Aaron Scott, the respondent, the following facts. If the witness, your mom, were in court and testified under oath, she would testify that she resides at 2220 Knox Drive, apartment 193 in Arlington, Tarrant County, Texas. She would further testify that she is your mother, which she has, and that your name is Blake Aaron Scott, and that you are a 16-year-old male child being born on September 19th, 2003. She would testify that she is the person who has the care, custody, and control of respondent. And is that true, ma'am?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And then it's indicating that you agree, Mr. Scott, in open court, you haven't signed it, but you do agree to this, consent to this stipulation of evidence. And in doing so, you expressly waive the appearance, confrontation, and cross-examination of witnesses, the right to a trial, and the right to a trial by a jury. And you further consent to the introduction of testimony by affidavits, written statements of witnesses, and other documentary evidence. Accordingly, you are waiving your federal and state constitutional rights against self-incrimination, and after having been sworn under oath, you confess to the court that the following facts you agree to and stipulate to, and that they are true and correct and constitute the evidence in this case. Okay, number one, that you were born on September 19th, 2003, and you live in Tarrant County, Texas. That on or about the 5th day of May of 2020, in Tarrant County, Texas, that you did intentionally, without the effective consent of Lamika Jackson, the owner thereof, break into a vehicle or enter into a vehicle, namely an automobile or a part thereof, with the intent to commit a theft. Pursuant to Texas Penal Code, as defined in Texas Penal Code 30.04. And number three, you agree that such conduct is a Class A misdemeanor and violates the penal laws of the state of Texas and is punishable by imprisonment or confinement in jail, and is delinquent conduct as defined in section 51.03A of the Texas Family Code. You further would agree and stipulate that that you are a child in need of rehabilitation, or that the protection of the public requires that a disposition be made. You further agree that to a disposition of a 1-year probation, TCAP, substance abuse treatment, and follow the recommendation of the assessment, which the court has not looked at yet, by the way, and any other orders of the court. Is that true, Mr. Scott?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Are you saying this is true because it is true and for no other reason?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Is this statement that you're making, is it being made freely and voluntary?
Yes, Your Honor.
Has anybody threatened you or coerced you?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Nobody's induced you into making this agreement?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. And do you understand what that means? Nobody's made you any kind of promises that says, well, if you agree to this, you know, the next time, if there is a next time, then we'll go lighter on you. No one said anything like that?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Okay, and I do also have in my hand the state's disclosure of the items and information provided to respondent. And have you received that, Mr. Daniels?
Yes, Your Honor, I have.
Okay, and you have shared that information with your client, is that correct?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. And Ms. Bell, you waive close?
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
Okay, Mr. Daniels.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Then based on the competent evidence of this hearing, I am going to make a finding of delinquency, and I am signing the stipulation, evidence, judicial confession, and disposition agreement. Well, before I do that, Mr. Scott, do you understand that by doing this, you are waiving your right to an appeal? You know what that is? Do you understand what that is?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes. An appeal is where, does it take place in this court or another court?
Yes, Your Honor, I understand.
Well, I'm asking you, I want to make sure, does it take place in this court, an appeal, or would there be another court that handles an appeal?
Takes place right here.
Okay, no. So if you appealed, there is a separate court downtown, our Court of Appeals here, and you are giving up the right to appeal your case to that court. And that court would take a look at your case and make a decision on an appeal, but you are giving up that right by entering into this agreement. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. You would have to ask permission from the Court of Appeals in order to file an appeal with that court. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. I do have to make specifically the finding that I do specifically find that on or about May 5th, 2020, that you did intentionally and without the consent of Lamika Jackson break into a vehicle owned by her, an automobile, with the intent to commit a theft, or at least partially break into with intent to commit a theft. And so we'll move forward onto your disposition. We're back on the record in clause number 323-113-710-20. Court takes judicial notice of all the previous proceedings in this matter, as well as the adjudication hearings previously conducted. Now let me just take a look at the social history which was provided, and the court has not previously viewed this.
Yes, Your Honor. The state would move to enter what's been previously marked as Petitioner's Exhibit 1. It's now in front of the court. It was previously provided to defense counsel and the state by the probation officer.
Okay.
I have no objections, Your Honor.
Okay, then Petitioner's Exhibit number 1 is admitted for all purposes here.
Thank you, Your
Give
Honor.
me a few minutes to look over this here. Ms. Bell, is there a proposed order and a terms and conditions of probation that have been prepared by your office?
Honor, the terms and conditions of probation are generally gone over with the respondent by the court and the probation officer. What the state, as a condition from the state, is TCAP and a substance abuse assessment. And then that the court order that he follow the recommendation of the substance abuse assessment. And then any other orders of the court, the state would defer to the court on those.
Okay, yeah, thank you. I was just wondering if there was if you guys normally submit a proposed order on that.
No, Your Honor.
Deputy Armstead. Can you go take this, Mr. Daniels, and see if we need to do that? He just popped up here. I'm looking to see if I have been provided those forms in here, and I don't have them, so let me go through the social history here. And I do apologize in advance because I am a slow reader, okay?
I don't think so.
Thank you. Okay, thanks. Okay, Ms. Bell, do you have any witnesses?
No, Your Honor, nothing further from the state.
Okay, Mr. Daniel?
No, Your Honor, nothing further.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Scott, after reviewing the social history and the remainder of your file and including the evidence admitted during your adjudication, I do find that you are in need of rehabilitation and that your best interests and the best interests of the community would be served by following the agreement that you have entered into with the state, okay? I do believe that you need to be What is the length of probation that was the agreement, Ms. Bell?
It was 1 year, Your Honor.
Okay, all right, good, because I was, if you were gonna tell me it was 6 months, I'm just looking at his history and his offense date. I think it'd be take a good solid year of some monitoring for him to hopefully be rehabilitated. So I'm gonna follow the recommendation of 1 year of probation. You are to submit to random UAs, okay, Mr. Scott? Do you know why?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, no drugs, okay? You cannot be out there smoking marijuana. I know that it seems, acceptable in society now. It's not. It's illegal, number one. Number two, you are 16. Your brain is still developing, okay? You don't know the effects that this has on that, okay? It is not just a harmless natural drug. It's just not. It can cause depression and all kinds of things, and it can cause your brain to not form up to its potential, okay? You have enough problems that you've had to face in your life and enough struggles to have to add more by your own choices. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
It's not cool. These aren't your friends, okay? These are not your friends. If these guys were your friends, they wouldn't be running around doing stuff like that with you, okay? Friends hang out and lift each other up. They go outside, they throw the football around, they go outside, they play basketball, they go on a run together, they go hiking through the park together or something. They sit and hang out, listen to music or whatever, play music, whatever, okay? They don't go out trying to do big boy thug things, okay?
Yes,
Those are
Your
not
Honor.
friends. And even if you're a grown man over 18, that doesn't make a man to do that, to be able to smoke weed and break into people's cars and take things from other people, okay? What's gonna make you a man and a good young man is you to focus on your schoolwork, perhaps maybe get a job to help your mom, help your family, and earn those things that you think are okay to take from other people, okay? That's gonna feel so much better than whatever thrill you might get getting into someone's car and taking a purse or something, okay? You're going to take it something that doesn't belong to you because maybe you can sell it and get some money for it or trade it for something or use it because it's something you couldn't afford on your own, okay? Trust me, the feeling of earning the money and when you can hand over that cash and say you did that it's yours, nobody else did that for you, that's a better feeling, okay? So the 1 year probation, I think he would benefit from TCAT for sure. He needs to do that. Random drug screening, substance abuse assessment, and follow the recommendations after that assessment, okay? So it's one thing for you to go get the assessment. It's another thing for you to follow the recommendations. You understand that, Mr. Scott?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and Mom, you understand that obviously, I know it's hard for you. You've got other teenagers to deal with at home and you've got a full-time job, but you'll have to make sure that he's able to cooperate with all of this stuff to the extent that you can, right? Get him to the appointments,
Your
things
Honor.
like that. Yes.
Yes, Your
And you can
Honor.
get him to the random drug screenings and things like that.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. And you understand, Mr. Scott, this is going to take a lot of work from mom too. All right. So I need you to listen to her rules, listen to her curfew. Okay. In addition to that, I think I'm going to put you, can we do an EM on him also for a period of time? Because I think you've been violating that from what I'm told. Is that correct, Ms. Bell?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Scott, I do not want to set you up for failure, but you do need to be reined in a bit. Okay, this is serious. You know what happens if you violate your probation possibly?
Yes, Your Honor.
What's that?
Come back here.
Okay. Ms. Bell, do you want to explain to him what could happen if he violates his probation?
Sure, Your Honor. If you violate your probation after being placed on probation and receiving services from the county, the state would then recommend placement where you could then be placed outside of your home in a facility to receive treatment, not in the community. And that could be out of state. It could also be in a lockdown facility. And so that would be the next step. If you were to violate probation, the state would be seeking placement for you.
And that's right, isn't it, Mr. Daniel?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so Mr. Scott, I can tell you that's what will happen, okay? Most likely what will happen if you come back here, okay? And so do you want to be on a monitor at home and follow the rules, or do you want to come back here and just be placed somewhere random that you won't even know or have a say in where you go? I mean, you don't have to answer that. I'm just saying ask yourself that, okay? You'd rather be home, even if you've got some restrictions for a while. So I am going to put him on a monitor. We'll see how, I don't know how long that's going to need to be. I'm thinking.
It's right on my leg.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you. You have to speak up and speak clearly.
There's a monitor on my leg right now.
Okay, they already put one back on you?
I already had it on. I don't even know how.
Okay, oh, he didn't cut it. He's just been violating it. Okay.
Right, right.
Well, we're going to leave that on, and we're going to leave it on for 30 days, okay? We're going to leave it on for 30 days, and I want you to be able to seek employment if you choose to do that. And if that's what your mother asks you to do, that's what I need you to do, okay? And if you do seek employment and you find employment, then you'll be able to go, obviously, to work and home. And if you go to church, you guys, of course, he can go to church, okay? There's no school to worry about right now, so.
Your Honor, when school is back in session, would it be a condition that he has no unexcused absences from school?
Yes, that is correct. If school goes back in session, no unexcused absences. Also, if it does not go back in session, when the school, he is to, and I don't know, I know all the schools are doing it differently, but he is to provide some sort of report from the school. I don't know if they use Skyward or whatever format they use that would indicate that he's at least doing some online, that he's turning in his work online, okay?
Okay.
I'm not even going to expect you to have straight A's, Mr. Scott, and stuff like that, because everybody's different, but I am going to expect you to try and put forth an effort and to attend school, whether it be online or in person, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Anything else from the state?
Nothing further from the state.
Mr. Daniel?
No, Your Honor, nothing further.
Okay. And I'm doing this, Mr. Blake, because everything I have read in your social history with the kind of behavior that I discussed with you about, this is the best course of action, okay? All right, and that'll be the order of the court. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Welcome. We're off the record.
May I be excused, Your Honor?
Yes, thank you.
Yes, and me too, Your Honor.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. All right.
Do I sit here? Or?
No, ma'am, you can, there'll be someone coming to get you to instruct you where to go.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, ma'am. Good luck with them.
Thank you.
Mhm.